of the offense committed by Lai Chih-ying. The court's judgment illustrates that the rule of law in Hong Kong is robust. Criminal acts will never be tolerated, and no one is above the law. Notwithstanding the punishment, irreparable harm has already been inflicted on our society. Over the years, Lai and his syndicate have misled people with fake news and false information. Under Lai's control, Apple Daily, together with the external forces he colluded with, have poisoned young people by inciting hatred and glorifying violence, and driven Hong Kong into a state of frenzied radicalism during Black Cat violence. And it was a time when humanity was at stake. We still remember young people blocking roads, storming the electrical building, and even beating up and setting on fire fellow citizens who held different views. Some even plot terrorist attacks to kill police officers and bomb hospitals. It was fortunate that the police had cracked down on these plots in time to prevent mass casualties and serious damages. But young people behind these terrorist activities had to face punishment by law. While our court has ruled independently and strictly in accordance with the law, external forces choose to ignore the facts and criticize the case as a so-called political prosecution. Let me stress once again that the reasons for verdict and reasons for sentence hand down fully demonstrates that the court has arrived at the judgment in strict accordance with the law and the evidence. As highlighted by the Chief Justice earlier, the courts in Hong Kong concern themselves only with the law and the evidence, and not with any underlying matters of political policies or other non-legal considerations. Any suggestions that certain individuals should be immune from legal consequences for their illegal acts is no different from advocating a special privilege to break the law, and this totally runs contrary to the spirit of rule of law. The Lai Chih-ying case also has nothing to do with press freedom. If anything, the defendants have used journalism as a guise to harm our country and Hong Kong over the years. Thanks to the public trial, it is for all to see clearly how Lai Chih-ying used Apple Daily to betray our country and our people. Moreover, external forces have fabricated facts that Lai had been unhealthy and ill-treated in prison, portraying him as a victim in an attempt to press for his unconditional release. But these claims are simply false. Even Lai's own legal representative has clarified time and again that Lai has been receiving suitable treatment and care in prison with no complaints. As regards the concern about Lai Chih-ying's removal from the association from other persons in custody, or the so-called solitary confinement, and we have also repeatedly, again and again, that the arrangement has been made at Lai's own request. Although Lai Chih-ying and other defendants will face legal sanctions they deserve, and we must not overlook the national security risk Hong Kong SAR is still facing from hostile external forces and anti-China and the establishing elements abscond overseas. The Hong Kong SAR government will not watch with folded arms any acts that endanger our national security. We will pursue offenders vigorously, regardless of distance, until justice is done. We will refute baseless allegations and smearing resolutely by presenting the truth and facts for all to see. We will step up national security education to help our citizens better understand and do their parts in our combat against national security risks. Lastly, My heartfelt gratitude to the judiciary, the Department of Justice, the police force, the Correctional Services Department, and all parties concerned for doing their part in bringing Lai Chiying and his syndicate to justice. I must also thank our fellow citizens for their support and for standing firm even in challenging times. The Hong Kong SL government will continue to unwaveringly and fearlessly prevent, suppress, and punish acts and activities that endanger our national security in accordance with the law. Thank you.
好，而家係傳媒提問嘅時間，麻煩每位傳媒提問嘅時候唔好超過2個問題。藍色衫呢位記者。
你好啊，無線㗎，想請教翻呢，啱啱局長你都有提過話呢，之前申請咗話凍結個資產啦，之後會充公，咁想知道話嗰個時間表同詳情究竟係點呢？咁同埋話除咗公司之外，係咪佢嘅所有個人財產都會充公呢？咁另外都留意到啦，其實呢，黎智英干犯嘅罪行最高其實係可以判到終身監禁。咁但今次呢，其實法庭嗰個總刑期呢係20年啦。有冇話對嗰個判刑嘅個睇法係點樣？覺得係點樣呢？唔該晒。
係咁啊，首先咧就住係我哋係我根據法例咧係凍結咗包括黎智英本人同埋包括咧蘋果日報3間相關公司嘅一啲嘅金錢咧，係我哋政府係會係盡快根據法例咧係進行呢個嘅係申請充公嘅程序。咁至於判刑
Vrindavan isn't just a place people visit, it's a feeling people carry. So when we designed this place, we treated it like Vrindavan, not just inspired by Lord Krishna. You experience him through every sense, in flowing water, in open gardens, in the air, the textures, the taste of nature. At its heart, the
已經係判咗20年啦。其實法庭入邊都清楚講咗咧，佢係牽涉咧一個嘅係罪行重大嘅，亦都由原本咧係佢嗰2條嘅係串謀勾結外國嘅罪咧，係由原本15年咧係將佢加刑加多3年，去到每條罪咧係18年。我哋相信咧呢個總共20年嘅刑罰咧係已經係反映咗呢個罪行嘅嚴重性。
好，下一條提問，黑色衫呢位記者。
您好，香港文汇报记者提问。首先想请问一下局长，觉得有关判决是否有阻吓性？然后第二个问题想问一下，针对反华势力对判决的评论，局长有何回应？请局长用廣東話回答，謝謝。
好。咁就首先咧就係就住嗰個判刑啦，20年嘅判刑啦，我頭先都提到啦，其實咧喺佢每一條嘅串謀勾結外國嘅罪行入邊咧，原本判刑15年，就係因為咧佢嗰個案件嘅性質係特別惡劣，係加刑咗3年，去到每條罪係18年嘅，所以加埋咧總共咧係由法庭咧就係判予係20年嘅監禁。我相信呢一個監禁咧係反映咗呢個案件嘅嗰個嚴重性。咁至於對於一啲嘅係外國嘅組織或者啲外國嘅政客，佢係繼續咧係刻意抹黑我哋咧，又話我哋係打壓新聞自由啊，又話我哋咧係政治檢控啊等等咧，呢啲咧香港市民睇得好清楚，其實呢啲全部都係虛假嘅指控。其實我哋講得好清楚㗎啦，包括法庭入邊嘅判刑講得好清楚，佢哋並冇任何政治考慮嘅，佢哋淨係睇犯罪嘅事實同埋睇法律嘅啫。一切呢啲指控咧都係虛假嘅。另外就住新聞自由，其實成件事就係、如果大家有留意個法庭整個審訊過程，就係黎智英利用蘋果日報去製造假新聞、假消息，煽動仇恨，煽動市民對於我哋政府不滿，鼓吹人哋係出嚟用暴力，呢啲全部同新聞自由無關嘅，呢啲全部係犯罪行為嚟嘅。一個普通嘅做記者做新聞嘅人係唔會做呢啲事情嘅。佢個目的其實就係唔理我哋中國人民同埋香港人民咧所面對嘅苦難，即使犧牲我哋都好，都要達到一個目的，就係要推翻咧係共產黨嘅政權。咁至於咧就係單獨囚禁咧，呢個我哋都講過好多次包括咧係黎智英個律師自己法庭都講啦。係黎智英自己提出嘅，我希望你哋唔好再繼續自己呃自己，揞住耳仔唔聽我哋講。呢個係黎智英自己提出嘅單獨囚禁嚟㗎。多謝。
好，下一個提問，呢位記者。後邊。
Good evening, Mr. Chang. A question from RTHK. What's the significance of this case, given that Jimmy Lai's sentencing of 20 years is the longest in all national security cases so far?
So I think the sentence of a total of 20 years imprisonment has reflected the grave nature of the case. If you look at the judgment, in fact, for each of the conspiracy to commit collusion offenses, the sentence has been increased from 15 years to 18 years with an additional sentence of 3 years. It's because the court has considered the grave nature of the case. I think the sentence of this case illustrates very clearly that any offense against national security, in particular colluding with foreign forces or external element, is a very serious offense.
OK，下一條提問，黑色衫呢位記者。
你好，局長，獨媒記者，我想問下黎智英係咪唔會獲得行為良好3分1嘅減刑呢？咁另外同樣其他刑罪嘅高層係咪都唔會獲得行為良好嘅扣減呢？咁另外蘋果日報其實已經停刊咗啦，咁佢哋已經唔再係蘋果嘅僱員，局長點樣評估佢哋對國家安全不理？會唔會參考翻之前初選案嘅趙家賢幫懲教署拍一啲認罪悔改嘅片先會獲得減刑呢？
咁咧入邊法例係好清楚講到咧，任何人係干犯咧係危害國家安全相關罪行咧，一定要喺懲教處處長佢認為咧係提早釋放咧，對於佢係唔會係不利國家安全咧，就會考慮嘅。咁咧呢個係懲教處處長會因應咧係每一件嘅案件，每一個嘅係被告人咧，根據實際情況咧係作出呢個嘅考量。
好，最後兩個提問，呢位記者。
你好，商台嘅都想問下，即係如果英國係引用移交協定安排，即係黎智英去英國服刑嘅話，即係想問下政府會唔會配合呢？另外都想問下，即係會唔會考慮用黎智英同即係英國去互換囚犯呢？即係譬如係互換，即係早前可能駐倫敦經貿辦間諜案嘅嗰啲被告咁
樣。黎智英係中國人，佢喺香港中國犯法，佢喺香港中國入邊服刑係非常合理嘅。
好，最後一個提問，黑色衫呢位男士。
I have a follow-up question about what you said on the UK the situation, because his side or his children has said that Jimmy Lai is only a British citizen. He only holds a British passport. How do you compare that to the version of what you just said? And if the UK asks for a transfer of sentenced persons agreement, what do you think the government will? How do you think the government will respond?
Lai Chih-ying, according to the law of Hong Kong and law of China, he is a Chinese, and we do not recognize dual nationality. Being a Chinese who commit an offense in Hong Kong, China, he serves sentence in Hong Kong, China is a very logical steps. Thank you.
OK， 唔該晒咁多位傳媒。
अंधे लड़की को तो दिखता नहीं। एक तरह से ऐसा होता है कि बच्चे क्रॉस रोड पे ठहरी है, इधर जाना के इधर जाना, किधर जाना समझ में नहीं आता। आजकल ये लड़कियों के साथ करना, ऐसा कुछ छेड़छाड़ करना, ऐसा सब होते रहता है। उसको कौन छेड़ रहा है, कौन क्या कर रहा है वो मालूम नहीं होता। ऐसे लड़कियां को कोई पूछने वाला नहीं रहता और कोई सहारा भी नहीं रहता। ऐसे बहुत से लड़कियों को हमने रेस्क्यू किया है और लाके हमारे हॉस्टल में रख के उनका हमने देखभाल किया और वो लड़कियां आगे बढ़ के अभी शिक्षा भी पा रहे हैं। बहुत से लड़कियां हमारे पास कॉलेज में भी पढ़ रहे हैं। एक अंधी बच्ची की पढ़ाई पूरी होने के बाद उसको आगे क्या करना और उसका भविष्य कैसे संवारना, वो चिंता उसको सताती है। तो इसलिए हम चाहते हैं कि पढ़ाई के बाद भी हम बच्चों को इधर ही रख के उनको कॉलेज में जाने के लिए और दूसरी पढ़ाई करने के लिए मदद करें। तो इस तरह से हम उनको पढ़ाई खत्म होने के बाद भी हम उनको सुरक्षा प्रदान कर सकते हैं। सबसे कमी धन की रहती है। अब हम बहुत कुछ करना भी चाहते हैं, लेकिन हमारे पास अगर धन नहीं हो, कोई आर्थिक मदद नहीं हो, तो हमको उससे बहुत कठिनाई होती है। तो हॉस्टल चलाने के लिए बच्चों को अच्छी तरह से खाना प्रोवाइड करना पड़ता है, टीचर्स को और दूसरे स्टाफ को सैलरी देना पड़ता है और बच्चों का हेल्थ मेंटेन करना रहता है, मेडिकल केयर देना रहता है। इसलिए हमको इन सब चीजों को पूरा करने के लिए धन की कमी बहुत महसूस होती है। मैं जो भी वीडियो देख रहे हैं उनसे यही प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि इन अंधे लड़कियों को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, इनका भविष्य अच्छी तरह करने के लिए हमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा मदद दे।